right, it is the next morning and we are ready to bake. My bread has been sitting in the fridge overnight, cold proofing, looking good. I'm gonna put it right into my bread sling. Flip it over. Pull it right on out of there. Looks pretty. Gonna sprinkle a little more bread flour over the top. Give it a nice little rub. I've had my Dutch oven preheating in the oven for the last 30 minutes at 450. We want to make sure our Dutch oven is nice and hot. You don't have to use a Dutch oven. I have one, so I go ahead and use that, but you can just bake on a cookie sheet if you prefer that. I'm gonna go ahead and score my dough. I'm just gonna do a simple score across the top. We score like this, so when the dough rises, it has a place to expand instead of just breaking open. I'm going to get my Dutch oven out of the oven so we can get the bread in. My Dutch oven is nice and hot like we want it to be. I'm just gonna set it right on in the middle. I leave my flaps on the side. I turn my lid. And I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 25 minutes at 450. And then after that 25 minutes, we're gonna take the lid off and open bake for a little bit longer to get it nice and golden brown on top. It has been 25 minutes, so we're taking our Dutch oven out and we're gonna take the lid off and open bake. Oh, look at that, it's looking good. All right, now I'm gonna stick this back in the oven for probably about 10 more minutes to get it nice and brown on top. It's been 10 minutes. We're gonna pull her out of the oven and see how she looks. She looks beautiful. Now we're gonna put her on a cooling rack for about 2 hours before we cut in. We gotta let her cool completely first and then cut in. She looks pretty good, smells even better. Now I'm gonna get working on my second loaf and do the same thing I did with the first one. We're gonna get it onto the bread sling, flip it over. Come right on off of there. Beautiful. Go in with a little bread flour again. I'm gonna score this one. I might do a little simple design on here. I'm gonna come right down the middle. And then I'm just gonna do a little kind of wheat stock design on the side. Nothing crazy. Don't get too fancy with it. It's all gonna get eaten the same anyways. Get this one in the Dutch oven and put into the oven, same temperature, 450 for 25 minutes. Loaf number 2 looks even better than loaf number 1. Got both of the loaves on the cooling rack. Now we just have to wait for it to cool down and then we can slice them open. All right, it's time to cut open the loaf. I'm only gonna do one today. The other loaf I'm gonna stick in the freezer. That way we have a loaf ready and we don't let anything go to waste. And that one will be saved for another video and I will show you how to freshen up your sourdough out of the freezer. Okay, let's cut it open and see how it looks. Beautiful. Smells so good. I can't wait to have a piece.